I call the delegate business session to order. Mr. Secretary, what is the first order of business?
Delegate roll call, Mr. President.
Right now, it is my duty to turn things over to our State Secretary, Jack Stoppleworth, for the delegate roll call. Let me remind you that no chapter without properly credentialed and seated delegates may participate in any competitive events at this convention. Also, it is very critical that delegates be seated promptly at each session before opening ceremonies. Jack, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Ty. As I call each chapter name, will the official delegates please stand? I ask that the state officers please assist, as we would like to take roll call quickly and efficiently. Ashley.
2.
Belfield.
2.
Berthold.
2.
Beulah.
2.
Bismarck.
4.
Bottineau.
2.
Bowman County.
4.
Carrington.
4.
Center.
2.
Central Cass.
5.
David Lloyd Lamore.
3.
Des Lacs Burlington.
2.
Dickinson.
2.
Divide County.
2.
Drake Animus.
2.
Drayton.
1.
Edgerly Culm.
3.
Enderlin.
2.
Fessenden Bowden.
2.
Finley Sharon.
2.
Flasher.
3.
Gackle Streeter.
2.
Garrison.
4.
Glenallen.
2.
Golden Valley County.
3.
Grafton.
2.
Grant County.
2.
Granville.
2.
Hankinson.
3.
Harvey.
4.
Hazen.
2.
Hebron.
2.
Hettinger.
2.
Hillsboro.
2.
Hope Page.
2.
Kenmare.
2.
Kidder County.
3.
Killdeer.
4.
Kindred.
5.
Lakota.
2.
Larimore.
2.
Leeds.
0.
Lidgerwood.
2.
Lisbon.
4.
Maddock A.S. Gibbons.
0.
Mandan.
5.
Max.
3.
Mayport CG.
2.
McCluskey.
2.
Medina.
3.
Minot.
8.
Minto.
2.
Moal.
3.
Mott Regents.
2.
Napoleon.
3.
New England.
2.
New Salem.
3.
North Sargent.
2.
Oak Sargent Central Ellendale.
4.
Park River area.
0.
Powers Lake.
2.
Ray.
2.
Richland 44.
3.
Rowlett.
2.
Rolla.
3.
Rugby.
4.
Scranton.
0.
Southart.
2.
South Prairie.
4.
St. John.
2.
Stanley.
4.
Surrey.
2.
Tioga.
2.
Towner.
3.
Turtle Lake Mercer.
3.
Velva.
2.
Wapton.
6,
Washburn,
2,
Watford City,
5,
West Hope Newburgh,
2,
Wilton,
3,
Wing,
2,
Wishick,
2,
Winemere.
3.
I will again remind you that we will proceed with the roll call at each session where official business is transacted. If you are late to a session where roll call will be taken, you must check in at the Secretary's station prior to taking your seats. Mr. President, there are 220 delegates representing 84 FFA chapters here to transact the business of the 2024 State FFA Convention. Delegates, give yourselves a round of applause on this great attendance.
Thank you, Jack. Let me add that each chapter should have specified alternates who should fill the delegate chairs for each session. Delegates who arrive late must check in at the Secretary Station before being seated. We have some very important business to attend to at this convention. And your job as delegates is an important one. The ideas, discussion, and committee reports that are being created today will help impact our organization for many years to come. Delegates, we are on our way to one of the most successful years ever. It is now time to begin the important task of attending to the business of our state association. Today at 12:30 p.m., the first of our important committees began their work. The screening committee has already met with the state officer candidates and will continue to do so tonight and tomorrow. The manager of the process is David Lear, advisor of the Killdeer FFA chapter. They will be reporting at the third convention session Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. Members of this committee include Paisley Wangler from Rugby, Abby Ravinius from the Gackle Streeter FFA chapter, Abby Lennox from the New Salem FFA chapter, and Haven Quintanilla from the Bowman County FFA chapter. Hunter Gallagher, a past state officer representative, Billy Lentz, also a past state officer representative, Andy Jensen, an industry representative, Heather Lang, an industry representative, and David Lear, who's the Killdeer FFA advisor, Christine Fanek, the NDAAE past president and Velva FFA advisor, and Cora Huss, the Beulah FFA advisor, helping the committee with logistics. And now I would like to introduce our state FFA staff member, Mrs. Brianna Mueller, for a few instructions and directions about the work we are about to undertake.
Good evening and congratulations on being selected to serve as a delegate at the 95th North Dakota FFA State Convention. Serving as a delegate is a great honor and privilege, something that you should not take lightly. Delegate committee work is held each year. This year's experience brings together 84 FFA chapters, 238 member delegates who represent our 7,441 FFA members. During committee work, we delegates share ideas to ensure the success of the North Dakota FFA Association. Delegate business ensures that the North Dakota FFA Association remains a grassroots organization representing members at the chapter level. Delegates are divided into committees to discuss topics identified by the state officers. The delegate business provides chapters the opportunity to influence the North Dakota FFA Association. Additionally, delegates set membership dues, make recommendations for new initiatives, and suggest changes in our policy and procedures. Please remember, the purpose of the delegate experience is to engage each other in conducting constitutional business and lending your voice to ensure the relevancy and effectiveness of the North Dakota FFA Association. To wrap up, there are a couple key points we need to address. Number one, it's important to remember the importance of committee work. You will discuss and conduct business of the North Dakota FFA Association. Committee work provides direction for the North Dakota FFA Board of Directors, and you will conduct official business as a committee. This is not a personal agenda. Your impartiality is key, and listening to others is essential. Number two, if you have any questions, please ask the advisor and the state officer that is assigned to your committee. They represent the North Dakota FFA Board of Directors. I will also be roaming around between your committee meetings if you have any questions. Number 3, you will be utilizing cell phones to vote. You may use them on Tuesday, and you will for sure be using them on Thursday for the state officer elections. If you do not have a cell phone that you can send a text with, you need to let me know as soon as possible, please. Voting instructions will be shared at the session. We need to make sure we're patient to ensure that we conduct a clean, efficient, and honest voting process. Integrity is very important. I want to thank you for your time as delegates, and Ty will now introduce your committee chairs.
Now, for the announcement and formation of committees. You will be dismissed by committee, and all committee meetings will begin immediately after we adjourn to our committee rooms. At this time, would all co-chairs please come forward to the steps of the stage? When your committee and name is announced, please come onto the stage and remain on stage until dismissed. The first committee is the SAE Promotion and Recognition Committee. Co-chairpersons for this committee are Joe Lindberg from the Carrington FFA chapter and Grant Anderson from the Harvey FFA chapter. You guys can come up on stage over here. Long steps, there you go. Advising the committee is Mrs. Hanson of the Carrington FFA chapter and the State Treasurer, Anna Hay. The committee will meet in the Memorial Union Prairie Room. The next committee is the Auditing Committee. Co-chairpersons for this committee are Bailey Erlacher from the New England FFA chapter and Mariah Lovero from the Granville FFA chapter. Advising the committee is Ms. Jody Free of the Harvey FFA chapter and the State FFA advisor, Mrs. Nikki Fiddle-Dydal. The committee will meet in the Memorial Union Room of Nations Room. The FFA Week Interactions co-chairs are Evan Olson from the Oak Sargent Central Ellendale FFA chapter and Riley Jones of the Pheasant and Bowdoin FFA chapter. Advising the committee will be Mr. Jeremy Karkoff from the Tioga FFA chapter and State Parliamentarian Ireland Waterrood. And this committee will meet in the Memorial Union Nuetta Room. The State Officer Interactions chairpersons are Tegan Erbley of the Napoleon FFA chapter and Samantha Burchill of the Central Cass FFA chapter. Advising the committee is Mrs. Callahan Lamar of the Grafton FFA chapter and myself. The committee will meet in the Memorial Union Rose Room. Co-chairing the Transparent Communications Committee is Anna Palmer of the Hebron FFA chapter and McKinley Haberman of the Winemere FFA chapter. Advising the committee is Mr. Bill Zing of the Hazen FFA chapter and State Reporter Annalise Rauschenberger. The committee will meet in the Memorial Union Meadow Room. Co-chairing the Non-Competitive FFA Events Committee is Dawson Malkowski of the Belfield FFA chapter and Forrest Sears of the Central Cass FFA chapter. Advising the committee is Mrs. Amanda Hiddle of the Max FFA chapter and State Secretary Jack Stoppelworth. The committee will meet in the Memorial Union Sonish Room. Our final committee, last but not least, is the State Program of Activities Committee. The co-chairs of this committee are Jaden Juntonen of the Rolla FFA chapter and Tevya Vogel of the Hebron FFA chapter. Advising the committee is Mr. Jeff Bookstead of the Lidgerwood FFA chapter and State Sentinel Ryan Slaybaugh. The committee will meet in the Memorial Union Hidatsa Room. The committees will have until 7 p.m. to finish up committee work. Reminder, the first session starts at 7:30 p.m. right here tonight. And if you are unsure of your committee's assignment, stop at the Secretary's station after adjournment. If you are an alternate delegate, be sure to attend the committee meeting assigned to the chapter delegate that you are subbing for. All committee chairpersons will need to submit their reports in the committee Google Drive by 5 p.m. on Tuesday, and no later. All committees, with the exception of the Screening Committee, will present their report Tuesday during the second convention session. Mr. Secretary, do you have a record of any further business which should now be transacted?
None at this time, Mr. President.
I will excuse the committees one at a time to follow their co-chairs and advisors to their designated meeting area. First up, would the SAE Promotion and Recognition Committee follow their co-chairs Joe Lindberg and Grant Anderson to the Memorial Union Prairie Room. The Auditing Committee will follow Bailey Erlocker and Mariah Loverow to the Memorial Union Room of Nations room. The next committee is the FFA Week Interactions Committee. Follow Evan Olson and Riley Jones to the Memorial Union Nuetta room. The State Officer Interactions Committee will follow Tegan Erbely and Samantha Burchill to the Memorial Union Rose room.
Yeah, thanks.
The Transparent Communication Committee will follow Anna Palmer and McKinley Haberman to the Memorial Union Meadow room. The Non-Competitive FFA Events Committee will follow Dawson Malkowski and Forrest Sears to the Memorial Union Sanish room. And lastly, the State Program of Activities Committee will follow Jaden Gentinen and Tevya Vogel to the Memorial Union Hidatsa room.